Good morning. How are we? Give me a hello if you're coming in live. Give me a replay if you're watching in replay. Let me know how you're getting on, how you are doing, and if you have any questions at all as well. So today we're talking about the environment, your environment that you have around you and how much that impacts your success with regards to health, with regards to body, with regards to mindset, with regards to motivation, with regards to eating, nutrition. And I will say that when people start, when a lot of the ladies come onto our Kickstart, we sometimes talk about, some people will be aware of how their environment impacts them, whether that's the other half bringing in food, whether that's friends, family bringing in food, whether that's kids, the food that they have around. But others, we're kind of oblivious and we're blaming willpower when actually there's a fundamental issue here that we haven't really addressed, and it's not necessarily in the environment as such, but our relationship with the environment. And I'm going to come on to this. So if you think about how many years we've been dealing with like the same stressors, worries, fears, dietary choices, sleep schedule, exercise choices, like should I exercise today, what should I eat, should I snack? And the dangerous part is a lot of these choices, which a lot of us know may not be the healthiest choices, actually become normal and routine. Morning, Jane. So they become normal and routine. And I see this often with diets and the fitness industry, is that the only focus could sometimes be on just going on a diet without even looking to change your environment. And what we need to consider with that is the habits that we have in place and the challenges we have may be different for you than what they are to someone else. So if you go and do, like, I don't know, let's say Joe Wicks, which is great, but there's a plan there that requires a lot of preparation of the food, even if it's certain meals that some of the other family don't like, it's a set way of doing it. Now, or Slimming Well, whatever it is, like, the issue is if it doesn't suit your environment at home. And what I'm getting at with this is we have to make sure our environment is set up for success. And a good way to do this is to go through two steps here. So step number one would be, and I'm going to talk you through an example of what happened this morning actually, which is one of those ones where it won't work for everyone. It might not, it might not. But you've got to find your key thing, your trigger. So number one is knowing where you are now and identifying the actions that are holding you back. So if you listen to the podcast video I did yesterday, that was where we were at. So knowing where you are right now and identifying the actions and behaviors that are holding us back. That's a big step, by the way. A lot of people don't even bother addressing them, and we try and jump on the next diet without really actually addressing what our kind of obstacles are at the moment. Step two is identifying the habits and actions that we need today to do to actually accomplish our goals. So this is about looking forward. Let's say 3 months from now, 24th of July, we are achieving the goals that we want to in the next 3 months. What do you do then? Well, what do you do when you wake up? What do you think? How do you feel? How do you look? What do you wear? Like, really vision where you're going to be. So here's an example of now looking at this and how we can, because I love doing, you don't only get results for done, how we can assess this today. So I'll give you an example from this morning. Yep, I'll post that for you, Ali. Yesterday's podcast link. Here's an example from this morning. So one of the ladies has said, I think I've cracked my alcohol habit because every time I now go and think I'm going to pour a glass of water, I go and do a quick exercise session. Good morning, Barbara. I go and do a quick, like, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And she said, I can't believe it's actually working for me. And her words, I never thought I had it in me. I never thought I had it in me, which is amazing. Amazing to see that you can surprise yourself. And the reason I'm getting at this is because, like I said at the start, we've done these things. They've become so normal and routine that we don't even think outside of it. Like, you could have heard the saying that breakfast is the most important meal of the day so many times. Morning, Sharon. So many times that we now actually feel that is true. And for some people it is, but for some people it isn't. But it's like our habits. Some things have become so normal. Good morning, Sue. Some things have become so normal that we don't question them so much. And then we wonder then why it's so hard. When actually we've got to look at these habits, challenge them, look at where we are now, and actually be open to new things. Because that's the issue. The longer we have essentially been alive, the more our expectations haven't been met. And stress essentially comes from when our expectations aren't met. So when our expectations aren't met, whether that's by family, friends, we encounter more stress here. And the problem with that is that can then trigger prefrontal cortex not working so well. We don't make as well better informed decisions. We might go towards more snacking, bad habits creep in, we get more tired. And the problem with this, and I'm going to bring this back round now, is that then if your environment is set up to be quite, right, there's food around, there's temptations around everywhere there, we haven't essentially trained ourselves to deal with this stress, because we've taught ourselves with the normal routines that when we're stressed, if you eat, you feel better. And the more we do that, that creates a more positive link in our brain to go, okay, every time you do that, I'm going to give you, that solves the urge, that cures the urge straight away. So that builds up into a normal routine that stress, I eat. That's doing that. And everything you do today, you're more likely to do tomorrow. But knowing that when you're aware of where you are right now, and you can set another step here, which we're going to go over now. So I'll go over another example. I open the fridge, sometimes have juice, fizzy drinks. This is an actual example I had last week. I will just eat even when I'm just thirsty. I could have water or sugar-free squash, and this is causing me to drink too much sugar, calories, and store fat, because at the moment she'll just grab juice, fizzy drinks, or just eat even when she's thirsty. So today, I will have a glass of water before everything I eat. That's an example of how to flip, and it sounds really simple. And it is. And the thing is, great success long-term comes from just doing simple things daily. Nothing really complicated, nothing that's going to kind of too overwhelm you. Actually just focus on what you can do right now today. Because I've spoken about a few complicated things, even in this 5-10 minute video, but it comes down to practical things that are very simple. Creating that environment, at least another step, because you might not solve it in a day. And I'm saying you won't solve what you're trying to change, years of habits in a day. But what I will say is that you might just have a successful day. And if you've had a successful day, that's evidence that you can have a successful life. Because ultimately the only thing that exists is today. So if you're not doing it right now, like if you're not binge eating right now, that's proof that you don't have to do it. Because right now you're not doing it. So right now you're in control of what you do. So you've changed your state, you've changed your focus, you're focused on something else right now, and you're not doing it. So there must be something in there that means you are in control here. And this is a reminder of that, to make sure, one, your environment is set up. So another thing you could do today, I'll give you another example. This is Sue. Here we go. So, Sue, I'll share yours as well, what you've done to make vegetables more convenient. You've made a veg box every day, which is great. You've made a veg box every day to make veg just as convenient as chocolate biscuits, fruit. Not that fruit's bad, but everyone's different, like I said. So very stressed yesterday. Internet went down, couldn't access exercise on Zoom or emails, ended up grabbing 2 apples I didn't really need or want. So focus today is veg, fruit. Yeah, it's interesting. And the more you're aware of this note, though, the more you're going to be aware of when that stress comes, how you respond. Because whenever we're stressed, tired or low, or we always fall to our lowest level of training, our lowest level of habits that we've done. So we can be great when things are really good, but when stress comes in, we'll fall to our lowest level of training. So we just have to get better on our worst days and actually give ourselves credit for doing, look at that, like your stress day was grabbing 2 apples. Once upon a time, that would have been a great day for you, right? So you've got to give yourself credit that my stressed out day was grabbing 2 apples. That's a good thing. We've got to give ourselves credit for starting something and going, oh, normally I'd have eaten 6 biscuits. Oh, I ate 2 biscuits today. I'm rubbish. I failed. Why'd you stop at 2? Oh, I just had enough. Oh, great. So you've cut it down from it to there. Their marginal gains, they add up over time. They add up over weeks. All of a sudden, you're starting to see results there. You 10% increase in the nutrition. Then you're like doing a bit of exercise as well. The 5 minutes goes to 10 minutes. Your muscle ache gets less. You realise you're fitter than you thought you were now. You walk up that hill and go, wow, I walked up the hill and I feel good. Yeah, so yeah, it would have been bars of chocolate. Now it's 2 apples. Look at that. But yet you're still kind of disappointed. I can feel it, which is great, because it shows you want to do better, which is good. Because if we didn't want to do better, then I don't think that's healthy either. And it's about not beating yourself up for that, or thinking that you should be. You can be happy the way you are, but you can also want to be better. You can be happy the way you are, but you can also want to be better at the same time. It doesn't have to be vice versa. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm not happy, so, or I'm happy, so I don't need to change anything. It can be, I'm very happy, but I'd love to see what I could achieve. I'd love to see what energy I could create. I'd love to see how I could make myself feel, my energy, what clothes I could fit into, what I could do with my fitness level if I was a little bit fitter. I'd love to see that. That's more exciting. Anyway, I best head off, as I know I'm distracting some of you from the 6:30 workout who are coming in this morning for bar with Chloe. So then we have yoga. So I better run off. Well, not run off, but you know. Anyway, I will post yesterday's podcast below. If anyone wants to catch up on that, that kind of goes into today's. So it might give you a bit of backdrop. So I'll post that in the comments. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, then you can just go to the one below it. Cool. Any questions, let me know. We are back open next week, by the way. Outside sessions come back in, which is awesome. Marlborough devices. And then we are back inside at the studio from the 12th of April. It's gone so quick. Right, I'll leave you with that. Have a great day. Control what you can. Drink your water. Eat your protein. Take a deep breath in before you do anything. Here's one for you. Take a deep breath in every time you walk under a door frame today. Take a deep breath in. Can I challenge you to that? Right, I'll see you soon.